would you like to come along with us right now?
Hey YouTube, what's happening? It's the Spaceman landing in your area once again. And tonight's video, I'm going to be trying out a brand new, well, new to me, OTC blend. But an OTC blend that's been around since 1927. It's a classic. And it's a pouch blend. And it is an aromatic barley blend that is flavored of chocolate and nuts, and of course barley. And if you haven't guessed it yet, it is Sir Walter Raleigh. Such a beautiful package, huh? Look at that. It's the ever fresh pouch. Isn't that beautiful? The artwork, legendary. This tobacco is very legendary. Based on a legendary figure who brought tobacco, imported tobacco to England, I believe it was, first. Gosh, I can even smell it right through this cellophane wrapper, and I haven't even opened it yet. Now, the pipe I've chosen to smoke this blend in, since it's a new blend for me, I'm just trying it out. I've chosen a pipe that I really favor a lot. It's a Boots Shoken Bent Mirage. This way. Beautiful Boots Shoken. Look at that. Yeah, she's a beautiful pipe with some wonderful green. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to pop this open. And this is the first time for me. Does that smell really good? Now, this tobacco is not really a complex tobacco. It's just a straight ahead burley. And if you're just interested in just getting tobacco flavor, nothing else, then you may want to smoke this. I would presume it's an all-day blend. As you can see, if you can get a good look at it. You've probably seen it a million times in a million videos. Well, there's a good shot right there. Very interestingly, kind of funky, strange looking cut. It's a coarse cut. I just can't get over that smell. It absolutely needs no drying. Everything's done in the pouch. So I'm going to go ahead and just dip my pipe into the pouch like all the old classic legendary codgers did at one time. So we'll see what we can kind of packing we can get with that. Anyway, This has been a popular favorite of countless smokers for generations. And stands to reason it is a traditional blend of burley tobaccos made in Kentucky. But like I said, it's an uncomplicated OTC blend. We're doing very well with this packing. Now this blend is currently produced by the Scandinavian Tobacco Group. Who else, right? Lane Limited. It was formerly made... Oh, I just got to get another... We'll get into the pouch note in a few minutes. It was formerly made by Brown and Williamson. Before that, got myself a little stick in there or something. We don't need that. We don't need no stinking sticks. All right. Anybody remember that movie about the badges? We don't need no stinking badges. Anyway. Let's get ourselves a nice little pack there. Now, it is, let's talk about the blend. It's a burley blend. The flavoring is anisette, sweet, and sugar. Now let's get a nice whiff of this pouch here. It's anisette, anise, whatever you want to call it. Nutty, cocoa. They're very delicious indeed. A pleasantly simple smoke. It's a good burley blend from the reputation that I have understood it to have. Just a straight, like I said, straight ahead tobacco. The lighter I'm using tonight is my Zippo Egyptian lighter. It's got the embossed Egyptian, I think it's the Sphinx, a couple other cats in there, whatever you call them. Let's get a nice little true light going here, and we're gonna dip into this and have at it. Like I said, the pouch note, hints of chocolate, of course, from the burley. So I would say it has a nutty chocolate flavor. A wonderful nutty chocolate flavor. Like I said, just straight ahead, honest tobacco. Nothing complex. Just sit back and have a nice relaxing smoke with and contemplate a few things. Tonight's accompanying beverage is a glass of Lipton iced tea, which pairs very well with this. I'm really liking this a lot. I'm finding out more and more that I'm gravitating to Burleys a lot. I want to read to you what it says on the pouch. We got to do that, right? Sir Walter Raleigh Pipe Tobacco. A classic Burley smoking tobacco savored by pipe tobacco smokers for 75 years. If you'd like to go to their website, it is sirwaltertobacco.com. Of course, don't forget the www. Wondering how long this would actually stay fresh in this pouch. With me, I'll be putting it in a mason jar just the way it is, the pouch, refolding it and retaping it and putting it in a mason jar and sealing it. There you go. There's the inner leaf, or the inner design. There's the entire label. There's the back. Very good. I'm impressed. I'm really liking it. And now, Sir Walter Raleigh has a reputation of actually not having a lot of tongue bite, or any tongue bite at all. So far, I'm not getting any tongue bite. But Sir Walter, I'm going to read to you from Wikipedia right now. Sir Walter Raleigh was an English landed gentleman, writer, poet, soldier, politician, courtier, spy, and explorer. He was cousin to Sir Richard Grenville and younger half-brother of Sir Humphrey Gilbert. He is also well known for popularizing tobacco in England. Anyway, Raleigh was one of the most notable figures of the Elizabethan era. The tobacco is mild. It's not a strong tobacco. Very relaxing smoke indeed. So, you know, the strength is mild, the flavoring is mild, taste is mild, room note is pleasant. Yeah, the room note's not half bad. But it's nothing more than a relaxing bowl of tobacco. No complicated flavors, no complicated toppings. Just a nice, all-around nice smoke. And an honest bowl of burley. And this is, of course, how a lot of people have rated it. And it stands by its rating. It's very good. I would like to share with you, since I'm smoking what I call an old or a codger blend, or nothing, all due respect to the codgers. These guys were the guys that are the legends. They're the guys that, hey, if they smoked it, then you know it's got to be good, okay? If your great-grandfather or your grandfather, and it's still around, it's been around since 1927, you know that it's got to be good, okay? But I wanted to tell a story about, I have a little story about when I was a child, and kind of humorous kind of pranksters that I could be at times, or that we could be at times, me and my friends. So I was a little bit of a prankster, and so were the neighborhood kids. So there was an older man living next door. I wouldn't say he was an old codger. He might have been in his 50s at that time. And so we decided, me and my friend Gary and my nephew, Wayne, we decided we were going to, for lack of better words, we were just going to go knocking on the neighbor's door and run as fast as we could. And fair to say that we were pretty good at it that night. It was in the early evening on a summer evening. Probably, I want to say, around 1973, 74. And guy's name was Nick. So, and him and his wife, and he had 2 kids. They lived over there, and so we start sneaking up around the hedges to the front door, and I kind of lean over and kind of lean into a running position in facing the opposite direction. And he had one of those aluminum storm doors, or screen door, whatever you want to call it, in the summer. And I just took my fist and boom, 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 boom. And as soon as, no more quicker than I knocked, I just we all sprung and ran. So we scattered and we hid. And they came to the door, nobody there. So we waited about 10 minutes, and we decided we were going to go back for some more. A few minutes goes by. We go back, and we did it again. And we ran as fast as we could. This was like the second time, and each time we did this, we would notice that the door would come open a lot quicker, because obviously they were waiting there for us, and they obviously caught on, and waiting right there at the door, yanked the door open as soon as we bang on the door. They should have just kept the inside door open, but I guess they had their air conditioner running and they didn't want to let it out, so open the door would come, but we were so quick that we were just out of Dodge in no time. So I think it was like the 4th time, or 3rd time, 3rd is a charm, whatever. We go up to the door, we lean in, and I'm like, look out, guys. Says, this is it. This is probably gonna, be the one the straw that broke the camel's back, or it's gonna tip the apple cart, or one of them things, So, bang, 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 and we just started running like hell. And we knew at this point we were in trouble. We knew he was probably going to come out, and he did. And we seen him coming around the side of the hedges, and me and my me and my friend Gary took off down the street, ran like 4 houses down the street and into a driveway. while my nephew climbed a tree in my yard and was way up in this tree. So we stayed down there for maybe a good 15-20 minutes, and we came back, and my nephew came down out of the tree to fill us in on what had happened. And he's like laughing, and he's like cracking up, and his face is all red. He's laughing really hard. He goes, you guys wouldn't believe it, what happened. He goes, he came out of there, and he came out of the door, and he was walking around right underneath the tree, and he picked up a cinder block and was carrying a cinder block around. Now, I think he just might have found a cinder block in the yard, and he was just carrying it around because he was just going to pick it up and take it in and just to clean it up and get rid of it. But my nephew didn't know if he was carrying the cinder block because he was going to use it on him, or so it was quite an experience. And they have a term for this kind of thing, you know, knocking and running, which I will refrain from using certain terms here because it's not a very nice term. But you know, we used to do that occasionally, and we used to get a kick out of older people. Now, you know, that was kind of like maybe mischievous of us, but you know, my mom would say, one day you guys are going to get old, and you're gonna, you know, you're gonna have people messing with you guys. And, but it was all in fun, you know, and we had fun. And you know, I had neighbors who were older men who smoked pipes, and you know, I'd occasionally see them going down the road in their car with the pipe hanging out of their mouth, and who knows what they were smoking. Were they smoking a codger blend? I don't know, but must have been good, whatever they were smoking, because they kept on smoking and for years, and maybe they were smoking different blends, or maybe they were smoking one blend all the time. I don't know. I would have loved to have found out, but I wasn't that interested in it at that time. But I didn't actually become interested in pipe smoking, like I said in an earlier video, until my mother and father were visiting some friends of theirs. The lady's husband was smoking a pipe, and he had a little pouch there, and he had the tobacco in the pouch, and it smelled like cherry, and it smelled really good. And I'm watching him pack his pipe, and he's lighting it, and it's like great, and he's smoking it, and then he gets done smoking that bowl, and he packs another bowl, and so forth and so on. I thought, wow, this guy's my hero, man. I want to do this someday. So well, sorry for all the pranks. We were kids, the old codgers and whoever. And we didn't just prank on old codgers. We used to pull jokes on everybody in the neighborhood, but it was quite a time we had back then. When you're young, it is. Well, at least when we were young back then. Lived in quite different times than we do nowadays. By the way, this tobacco, yeah, it's just a straightforward tasting, burley. It's not bad. I actually, just to get off the subject here for a second and back to the tobacco, I probably would prefer Velvet over this, but it's not bad. So, where was I now? We were just, you know, we were younger. It was the early 70s. Our parents would let us go. in the morning, and we'd ride our bikes through the whole neighborhood, and they'd say be home by 4 or 5 before it gets dark, and nobody worried about anything. It was great times, man. I'm sure they had a lot of bad people out there like they do today, but it's a lot worse today, and they were great times. You can't really match them. It was the early 70s, and it was great. But I don't know how else to describe this tobacco except for a cocoa type of flavor, chocolatey, nutty, kind of mild flavor, burley. And the burleys are fairly earthy, nutty, with some cocoa molasses. And I'm like halfway down the bowl now, and it's starting to taste all this stuff. It has a very consistent flavor throughout the whole bowl. I'm just wondering how the tobacco has actually changed through the years, if it has at all. But it's a nice blend, and you can watch countless videos on it if you'd like to get countless people's experience with it, and perhaps do your own video and tell us what your experiences are with Sir Walter Raleigh. If you like it enough, there's always the 14-ounce can. You can indulge. I was thinking about ordering up a 13-ounce or 14-ounce can. I think it's 14 ounce of Velvet. Big cans, anyway. I don't really know if they're all the same or not. This pouch is a 1.5 ounce pouch. So there you have it, Sir Walter Raleigh. Not a bad blend. You all have a good evening, and I will catch you in the next video. Adios.